Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I thought I would share with you everything I wish I had known before I started uni. Now, I did do a video similar-ish to this almost 2 years ago now, which is crazy. That was like kind of everything I wish I'd known before first year, so this is gonna encompass that. Just for some background, I am a fourth year student, or I'm going into fourth year. I study economics at the University of Edinburgh. So I've been at university for 3 years. I'm from London, so I moved like quite far away. Hopefully I can pass on some wisdom. I mean, take everything with a pinch of salt. I don't really know what I'm doing. My life's a mess too. But these are some things that I think are hopefully going to be beneficial to you. You are always going to be you. Before I went to uni, I had this huge preconceived idea that when I got to uni I was going to be a completely different person. I was like, oh, when I go to uni I'll make these foods and I'll read these books and I'll suddenly take up yoga, or I don't know, something. You have this vision that you're going to be a completely different person, but realistically you are still you, even if you're moving across the world. Yes, things will probably change about you, but like, don't have these preconceived ideas that you are going to be a completely different person. And if you want to build a habit, like, now's the time to start. Don't think that like when you get to uni you're going to be different. And in the same way, also, I worried that like about like friendships and stuff, people you were leaving behind, like how's that all going to work? And something I should have thought about more is that like I'm me in my essence and like in my core, and that's not gonna just change because I moved to uni. Plan things. When I was in school, I did not plan anything. I fumbled through life without a planner, without writing anything down. I just let life happen to me, and you need to plan. This is a great segue to today's sponsors, who are Papier. I'm so excited to be working with them. I have been using their planners for 2 years, I think, like a year and a half. I think I started using them at the end of 2018, and so it's very, very cool to be working with them. I'm just very gassed, having literally used it every day for almost 2 years. It's literally a part of every day of my life. To be working with them now is very, very cool, and this will help you guys out as well. I have some of their products here which I'm gonna quickly show you. So this is the main thing that I want to recommend, is an academic diary, a planner of some kind. Firstly, amazing print. I love this one. It's got some really cool spreads. You can write your timetable, your deadlines. They have a week overview as well as monthly overviews, and it's just a great place to kind of like plan out your life. There's also some cool things which are great for students, like recipe ideas, a finance tracker. Like, these are really amazing tools if you're just moving to university, or even if you've been there a while. I love having everything written down. I cannot tell you how much easier it is to relax and just chill out when you have your life written somewhere like this, because when everything's like, you know, running around in your mind, I literally can't sleep at night thinking about all those things, and just putting it onto paper, and like you can just let yourself forget things and know that you still have access to them. Like, game changing, game changing. They also have a weekly planner, which is just tear out sheets for each week with a little to-do list on the side. Again, this is great. I love writing to-do lists. To-do lists are your best friend at university. It's a lot more independent than school, and if you are able to like plan things out in a way like this, there are so many more hours in the day when you actually plan things. And I love that these ones are tear out, because you can like put it on your wall and have it like in front of your desk for that week, or you can also just like keep them in here. And then they also have these sets of notepads. So firstly, these designs are so sweet. I literally love them. I think they're so vibey. So these ones are just like to-do list ticks, which is great for just like a daily task, or I would even say like if you're planning an essay or planning a piece of work that you need to do, like a project or something, you can write down like each section and then work through it like that, and just good for like planning stuff out. And then I also have a couple notepads. Look how cute the designs are. They have so many more designs as well. Obviously I went for like quite bright colors and like fun things because I just like that, but they do have such a variety of designs. And so this one is just a lined notebook, great for like taking notes in lectures or planning essays, etc. And then this is a dotted one, which is great maybe if you do a more like creative subject, but I also love these for like journaling and stuff. Papier is a great place to shop for all your like back to school, back to uni essentials. They really have such an amazing variety in such cute prints. Everything can also be personalised. My name is on all of these, which I think is so special. I also love that Papier source all their paper from FSC certified forests, and everything comes in cardboard packaging so you can recycle it. So I have a discount, which is so exciting. I'm just so happy to be working with them, and I'll have that on the screen. You can use the link below to shop anything from Papier. Making friends is going to take work. When I moved to uni, I had this idea that making friends was actually going to be easier than it was in school or in life previously, and in my experience it was harder. So in school you have these like little interactions where, you know, you see someone every day, like you have a class with them, and you're able to build a friendship from that. Like the beginning stages are done for you because you don't have to go through the awkwardness of meeting up with someone because you have to go to school. In uni, those little interactions I think are rarer. Obviously like lectures, tutorials, etc. But a lot of the times it's so easy to just walk in, listen to the lecture or tutorial, whatever, and then go home. And especially if like a lot of your studying is going to be online next year, it's so easy to not actually get to know people. If you get lucky with your flatmates, obviously that can be a great way to make friends, and I think that's the instance where it could be easier to make friends since you are seeing them all the time. But if you don't click with them, or you, I don't know, you just want to make more friends, I do think it requires effort and time, and you cannot just sit in your room and expect friends to come to you. I spent too long kind of almost like pitying myself and being sad about the fact that I didn't really have as many friends as I thought I would, or that I didn't really see people that much. Instead, I should have just been more proactive. Everyone wants to make friends, so don't be scared to like message somebody and be like, hey, do you want to do something? Or like join a society or a club, music, whatever it is that you're into, because then you can find like-minded people. I would just say friends take work. It's not just gonna fall onto your lap. The same way that like with any relationship in life, like it's gonna take effort. You have to put in the time, and it might not just be handed to you, which I do feel like school friends kind of were. Don't be afraid to put in the effort, and I think don't feel bad. You don't instantly have a connection with like somebody in the first week. There's plenty of time, and yeah, just put in the effort. There is more to life than grades. When I was in school, I was very academic focused. I always wanted to get the highest grade, and that was like the be all and end all for me. I think in uni, I'm not going to say that like grades don't matter, because they do. And you're paying a lot for your education, probably. If you're getting your education for free, I'm very jealous. But you know, regardless, you're putting in a lot of time. You want it to be worth it. Like, I wouldn't say throw your grades away at all. However, I will say now my mindset is so different to when I was in school. Grades are something I want to do well, but I'm not going to get upset over not having the absolute highest grade. I would much rather enjoy my life, make videos, have time to do a sport, go to the gym, etc., than pour everything I have into academics. And obviously that's a decision you're going to have to make for yourself, but I do think that, especially like talking to friends and stuff, in uni grades are it's just not everything. Doing internships, having other stuff on your CV, I feel like that's what makes the difference. And especially like the difference between a first and a 2-1, I don't think is that much. It's a lot of work difference, but it isn't that much in terms of like employability. Obviously that depends on like the degree you're doing. Don't do anything, don't change your life off of this video, but I just think that it makes sense to focus on other things and be like more well-rounded than just thinking about grades all the time. Social media is a lie. Okay, now we all know this, we all say this all the time, but please remember this, especially if you're going into first year. Like I was saying earlier, I didn't click with my flatmates really. I didn't have loads and loads of friends. I didn't have like a defined friendship group, especially in first year. I would see my friends from home on like their Instagram stories and stuff, hanging out with people and just having like the best time and doing stuff all the time, and like they had like a proper group and all of this. And I just feel like so many people who I thought loved uni or were having like the absolute time of their life have told me since that they were not. Like, it was a lie. I've had so many friends tell me that they hated Freshers Week, and I remember thinking they look like they're having a great time. I also know people who did have like a great friends, and then now they've fallen out, you know, like you just don't know what the truth is behind anything on social media, so do not let that get you down. don't like try your very best not to compare your life to anyone else's. And I do think that like good things come to those who wait. If you are having a hard time with anything in life, I think that like good things are coming. You need to learn to enjoy your own company. Before I went to uni, I would never really do anything on my own. Like I would run errands, like if I needed to go to a shop, I would do that, or like go to the gym and things that are like traditionally done on your own. But I wouldn't necessarily take myself shopping for fun or go on a long walk or go to a new place, because I was like, it's sad for me to have to do that on my own. I should have people to do that with. Take it from me, you can do whatever you want on your own. Do not miss out on experiences and trying new stuff because you're scared to do it on your own. If you have people to go with all the time, that's great. But I definitely, especially in first year, I learned how to like just do things on my own, take myself out for the day and have a nice time. And regardless, I think that that's an important lesson to learn. Like going forward, I know I gained a lot of independence through those times. Obviously, moving away and living in a new city or just university in general is way more independent, and it's good to lean into that and like learn like how to be more independent. There's no one at your flat, you know, telling you like, oh, we're doing this today, or I'm taking you here, or this is what's happening. Like you have to kind of just do your own thing. And I think if you can learn to enjoy your own free time and like do things on your own, I do think that makes like uni a lot easier. Research your courses. I think I still have this issue. It's very difficult to kind of work out what courses you want to take, what you're going to like. A lot of unis will have this like scheme, or like my uni does anyway, where you can take extra courses for the first few weeks and then pick which course you prefer and then just carry on with that one. Obviously it's more work because for the first few weeks you're taking like multiple courses. Browsing for a course that you actually enjoy, it is worth it. And even if you don't want to do that, just take a little bit more time to research. Also pay attention to like the lecturers and the people who run the course, because I do think that makes honestly like the biggest difference. Like that can make or break a course, who runs it. So if you have a lecturer that you really like, see if they have any other courses and consider taking those, because that's the determining factor as to whether you enjoy a course. But yeah, university, like it's very new concept. Having just finished, if you've just finished school, being able to actually choose what you're studying a bit is quite a new concept. Take advantage of that, research the courses, like do background reading if you can, because like at the end of the day, you're here by choice, you know? You can choose your life. Stereotypes do not have to be who you are. So I think when you like think about university, there are a lot of like social pressure. Drinking, like casual sex, there's just like a lot of social norms or things that are associated with university. There's also pressures to not do that stuff, and shame in doing them at the same time. Like I feel there's a lot of pressures coming from all angles, and my advice would be stereotype. You do not have to be a stereotype. If you want to, literally just do whatever suits you. Do not feel like you have to fit into a complete stereotype. I don't know if that's making sense at all, but you don't have to like succumb to a stereotype of somebody who goes out every night. And if you want to do that, that's completely fair play, but you just don't have to. I didn't really drink at uni. I drink like here and there, but like for the most part I don't really drink. Sometimes that made me feel like, oh, like I can't go out and like see people in the evenings, or I don't know, like it just makes you feel like you need to fit into a certain box, and you really don't. Just like literally just follow your own path. Okay, plan fun things for the weekend, day trips, especially if you have moved to a new city. I moved from London to Edinburgh, so like it's a whole new country. And going into final year now, my one regret, or not like regret, but just something that I maybe wish I'd done more, is do fun things on the weekends. Like go on a day trip, you know, like I'm probably never gonna live in Scotland again, and there's so much that I haven't seen that I would like to. Granted, there was a pandemic, so I'm not blaming myself fully, but I do think, especially if you've moved to a new place, make the most of that. Try and do fun things at the weekends, and I think for the most part people are always up to do that stuff as well. And it's just fun to like look back and have so many memories from the place that you lived, because probably, I don't know, obviously it depends, but like you might never get to live there again. Okay, sport or like societies can literally make your whole experience. There is nothing wrong with not doing that stuff. I do think that while you're at uni and it's on offer, it's great fun, so like I would recommend, but there is no, You don't have to, but I will say if you throw yourself into a society or a sport, those people can become like your very best friends. It can be a life-changing experience almost. Like that can make your whole uni. I can't imagine my university experience without cheer. And I've just had, like, I've made some of my very best friends, gone to like stay in hotels for competitions, and literally everyone I've ever lived with has been someone from cheer or one of their friends. So it really did have such a big impact on what I've been doing. And at uni, sports and societies and stuff, I just think they're so fun. You really can pick the amount of like how much you want to be invested. So many societies, intramural sport, like you can really pick the level that you want to do, how much do you want to commit to this. And I just think that it's a great way to make friends and do something new. It does give you a little bit of that taste of school where it's like little interactions off. It's a great way to like really build a friendship. And I had to put this in here because I literally can't imagine my experience without cheer. Your living situation is not worth the stress. This one, I feel like this is so important, so important. If you remember anything, remember this. Who you live with, how that all works, you know, who are you gonna live with, where are you gonna live, oh, we've got a viewing today, oh, please just relax. I think living situation is it can be so stressful. In first year I was so stressed. Who am I going to live with? When are we going to do it? Like when are we getting like the viewings and all of this? And I really do think it's just not worth the stress. So I was meant to go on a year abroad in my third year, RIP. So it got to like August and I didn't have a flat for September. I hadn't planned anything because that's when the year abroad got cancelled. Like it was all very last minute. I could have been very stressed about living situation, but I had literally stressed out so much about it the year before that I just said to myself, do not stress about this. It is so not worth the energy, and it's just really not. Please don't stress about it. Also remember that just because you don't live with somebody, it doesn't mean that you're not their best friend. It doesn't mean that you can't see them all the time. And also just because you feel like you're not compatible to live with someone, it doesn't mean you're not compatible as friends. I've never experienced that, but I think living with someone is a very specific type of friendship, and it's almost nice, like it's important and really nice to have friends outside of like your living situation. Just because you're not living with someone, it doesn't mean that you're not friends. And I think that it gets kind of personal, the whole living situation thing, like, oh, like, can I live with you? Oh no, you're already living with them, you know. It just gets it's a very touchy thing. And I think if we all just like took a deep breath and chilled out, it's not the end of the world. Also, you have other years. If you choose to live with someone this year and then want to live with someone else the other year, you can. Like, just please don't lose sleep over that. Your mental health is a big responsibility. University can be really hard. Like, you're doing everything for yourself. You're in charge of your whole life and nobody is really holding you accountable. Working out how to look after yourself and how to, you know, like keep yourself happy and like have good mental health, I think is really difficult, and it like takes a while to like figure it out. And with that also, there is no shame in going home. I felt like in first year there was like a shame around like visiting home, almost like you were weak, but there is no shame. As you get older, you notice that people will just be like, oh, I'm just going home for a weekend for fun, and it's like, fair do, nobody cares. So I think don't be afraid to go home for a weekend if you need to. Like, just your mental health is really important, and it's very easy to just like, especially if you're having fun, like go out all the time, go to your lectures and not actually take time for like mindfulness and self-care and just slowing down a little bit. So try to remember that. It goes very quickly. I'm so sad to only have 1 year left. Like, that breaks my heart. So if you're going into university, or regardless of what year you're in, like, I feel like we all know, it goes so quickly. I was meant to live in another city this year. It's just crazy to me that I thought 4 years in Edinburgh would be too long. I was itching to like go somewhere else when I applied, and now I look back and I'm like, 4 years is nothing. Like, they've been the best. Yeah, so just don't waste it. In first year I had this kind of like impending doom feeling where it's like, I have so much of this degree left to do, but like just enjoy the moment that you're in. I promise. I feel like everyone says that like at the end of their degree, oh my god, it went so quickly. Like, make the most of it while you can. I think it is just like a really unique, special time. And also know that if it's not the best time of your life, that's fine. That's completely fine. Everyone who's older than me sold it to me be like the best thing ever, and like your parents and everything, and It's normal to have down days, have sad days, and even if you finish your degree and you're like, that wasn't the best thing I've ever done, that's fine too. Everyone's experience is different, and just, I think, take each day for what you can. I hope this was helpful in some sense, and if you're going to uni, best of luck. I hope you have the best time. I love you all very much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.